It's a Saturday night special edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. We got a lot of hoops to talk about, both around the high school scene and at USCB. The St. Sharks very busy as well, but we are here, myself, Wes Kerr, alongside Justin Jarrett on a busy day of not just sports in the Low Country, but sports uh, around the country with the NFL playoffs. The Carolina Panthers, oh so close to knocking off the LA Rams, but Puna Ford and the Rams advance. They survive in a 3-point win at Carolina to kick off the NFL playoffs. We got the Bears and
Indeed, they
Packers
did.
getting ready to get themselves going in a few minutes. Definitely we'll keep our eyes peeled on that game as well. But Marcus Walsh, haven't
Yes,
been on the show for a
that's
while.
that's who I
It's been a
am.
busy week of basketball, but how are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well, man. Just it's I said it earlier in the week. It's one of those weeks that it feels like two. There's
Yeah.
just been so much going on this week, and I'm really looking forward to getting out and calling my first doubleheader of the year on Monday between Bluffton and Hilton Head Prep. I saw Bluffton earlier in the week against Hilton Head Christian Academy. That was Tuesday night. Saw the girls and guys. First time seeing the girls, so I'm glad I was able to do that. I've seen the guys a couple of times. And so the scouting for me, just in terms of getting an idea for my broadcast purposes of how all these teams are, that's about over with because
Yep.
it's time for me to get into the nitty gritty of getting ready to call
Mhm.
games.
Yeah.
So we've got Hilton Head Prep, Bluffton at Hilton Head Prep on Monday, 6 o'clock, 7:30, 6:15, 7:30, somewhere in there. And and so
My
that's that.
signal just went off for a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So that's our first matchup. We're going to be heading out to Beaufort to see Bluffton and Beaufort on the 20th, and then the 27th, HHCA JP2, and then we will finish up with our 8 games, 4 doubleheaders, February 3rd, between May River and Hilton Head. And I must note that these are all subject to change because you never know with scheduling that something may happen where it changes in the offing. So stay tuned in case there's anything that happens schedule wise. But as of now, we got the all clear. So
Sorry, my
looking forward
signal's
to it.
going in and out, so my apologies if I a little connection muffled there. But let's get into some news and some scores because it has been a busy week into the weekend, starting with USCB. The women, after picking up a nice win against Flagler on Wednesday, which I got to be on the call for
Yeah.
over at USCB. Won that 82-74, but lost today by 4. A very respectable loss against a number 19 Columbus State. I mentioned in the broadcast, that's a team that was ranked in the poll and one of the favorites in this conference, if not in the favorite in this conference. They lose by 4. That is a very tremendous effort there by the St. Shark Wednesday. But the men, after that dramatic buzzer beater in overtime on Wednesday by Kilminster, they get it done again at Columbus State, 77-75. Another hard fought win, this time on the road for the Sand Sharks. And it's Kilminster again, if you can believe it, with 2 seconds to go. That dude has been one of the most incredibly clutch players I have ever seen live because he has just done it again tonight or today. 70-75 tie with 27 seconds to go. He hits the game-winning jumper to propel the Sand Sharks. That guy has to be player of the week for the Peach Belt Conference. You hit 2 game-winning shots. I mean that has to be automatically giving you a spot, unless some other guy went off for like 40 or 50. 2 game-winning shots against 2 solid opponents, and not only that, but he tied the game against Flagler with a few seconds to go before hitting the buzzer beater, and then he does it again with a game-winning shot, 2 in 2 games.
Damn.
Unbelievable performance in the clutch by Evan Kilmister. This is incredible.
That's unreal. And he hasn't just done it within the last couple of days. He's done it from what I've heard from you guys all season with some huge performances and it's still early. I mean,
Yep.
USCB, of course, like other college basketball teams, they play into March at least. So
Yeah, the
look
schedule
out.
will go schedule goes the 28th of February, which is the last day of February, and then the tournament starts
Yeah.
the first week of March. But Saint Sharks with the win, they've won 3 in a row. They're 5-3 in conference play, and now they're just a half a game behind first place, shared by North Georgia Lander and Georgia College. They are on the road again on Wednesday, I believe, at Georgia Southwestern. So uh, that's a Georgia Southwestern 4-3, so that should be a competitive game. And then the
Yep.
big one on Saturday at the Cove, a week from today, against North Georgia. That should be one heck of a ball game and could go a long way to deciding the top spots in this conference. But man, Evan Kilmister, unbelievable what he has done. I mean, propelling the Sand Sharks 2 straight wins in a row in the clutch. Special talent, and we knew that we were getting one with him. He used to play, I believe, at the College of Charleston, and man, what a revelation that he has been, specifically this week, but really all season for these Sand Sharks. Unreal stuff there from Kilminster. Looking forward to continuing to see this men's team play, and the women also off to a fantastic start. Despite the loss today, and once again, this is a loss against the number 19 team in Division Two in
Yep.
Columbus State. And North Georgia is actually 7-0. I would assume they would be ranked as well. Potentially, they're 12-5. I'll have to check and see the poll. Um, where that all shakes out. Don't I'll have to look up and see. I'm not quite sure, but Columbus State, as the schedule noted, were ranked. But yeah, the Columbus State team, they're 12-2. So North Georgia's 12-5. So they North Georgia's lost more times than Columbus State, but still very very solid effort from that USCB women's basketball team to go, toe to toe with a very good Cougar squad. So respectable effort there. They sit 5-3. They are tied for third with Augusta, which is what we've seen from the last few years with the USCB women is they've just they haven't been able to stay healthy. They had a couple of close
Right.
losses throughout those first 2 seasons, but they're really clicking. Find it here in year 3, and it's been exciting to see what Sharon Versip squad has done. And man, I am quite excited for what we're going to see this winter with both those teams.
Yeah, and when you take a look at the women, certainly they have a lot of girls that can do a lot of women that can, do a lot of things. They've got some speed and certainly ability to put it in the bucket.
Yeah.
I go back and yeah, she's a freshman, but I go back to that team getting Courtney Campbell out of
Yeah.
Hilton Head Prep, and I just cannot wait. One of these days, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to really see how these teams are. It'll probably be towards the end of the regular season, as I normally like to get out there after I have the majority of my basketball stuff finished up. Um, but one of these days before the season's over, I'm going to get out there and see how these teams really look heading in towards the tournament play. And Courtney Campbell, yeah, she's a freshman, but her ability to just fit right in wherever she is, she's one of the smaller players on the floor anywhere that she's at, but she leads by example
Yep.
and at the same time is not afraid to speak up. She's going to fit right in there with USCB, and she's already starting to make an impression from what I hear from you guys, which is a great
Yep.
thing.
She's been very efficient. I mean, she hasn't had much usage in these first few conference games, but she's getting a few more minutes. But she made a couple of big threes, especially early on in a big conference win. So she has been impactful already in conference play for that Saint Shark squad. So yeah, definitely keep a lookout for Courtney as we progress
Yeah.
towards the rest of the conference. But we got a lot of high school ball to talk about as well. Before we get to that, we got to tell you that our show is presented by the Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, the presenting sponsor, all-star sponsor here in the Lowdown, our official real estate closing attorney, and our presenting sponsor of Hilton and Christian Academy coverage. Call on them for all of your legal needs. That's Mickelson Law Firm, and yourself at WHHI TV, Marcus Walsh, working for this outstanding television network here in on the island, and it's not just Hilton that they cover. They cover the entire Low Country including Bluffton and Beaufort as well.
And
Great
even
partnership
into
with
Savannah.
journalism,
We've
and
been
the only
going
television
into
station.
Savannah.
I interned there back. I interned there back many years ago with
I know.
the great Kevin Libby and many others, and Bob Stevens, who at the time was doing the Hilton Head News back
And
then.
still is. Well, he still is our top anchor on the WHHI TV news as it is now.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
he's amazing. They
Well,
they both are.
Kevin Libby did the Beaufort News at the
Yes.
time, and then Bob did the Hilton Head News.
Yep.
So, uh, great history there. Love those guys. But yeah, they're the only television station devoted exclusively to covering the Low Country. You can keep up with the latest news on WHHI TV. They're available through Spectrum and Hargray, and they're streaming online WHHITV.com, and as well as check out their YouTube channel. They post a lot of their content on YouTube as well. But WHHI TV presenting all-star sponsor. A big night last night in high school basketball.
Indeed.
Some notable games on the girls' side. Hilton Head in overtime over Bluffton, 35-33. Addie Freeman, Olivia Brockway with some big performances. Tamara Bolden with a 10-point effort for the Bobcats. Bishop England tops May River 49-37. Whale Branch all over Edisto. And then Beaufort, 69-31, blowing out Carleton County. Nice start for the Eagles.
And
on the guys' side,
yeah.
Bluffton 77, Hilton at 64. It was close in the first half, but the Bobcats pulled away. A couple of big shots from the outside, and Harry Skinner really got going. Skinner with 32 to lead the way for all scores in that one. Big night for Harry Skinner.
I look forward to seeing him Monday.
Yeah, Malcolm Gordon, 17 points. Ethan Foster was impressive as well with 11. And Tajay Wright with 22 to lead the Seahawks. He has had a great start to his year, but Hilton Head 0-2 in
those three guys that you just mentioned, Wes.
Sorry?
Those three guys that you just mentioned, Wes, for Bluffton have been tremendous all year long. Foster, Skinner, and Gordon have done an outstanding job making that team run, especially on the offensive side. Harry's actually starting to get his three back a little bit, as I've seen over the last couple of days, and I've seen a ton of Bluffton in the last couple of weeks.
He is absolutely lethal, and even when he doesn't, he's made other plays. Like he can drive the hoop, he can score some and runs.
He's much more of an inside guy now because he added muscle.
He's been a more complete player this year. I mean, he was more of he's a 3-point specialist kind of guy, but now, I mean, he's their point guard. He's their this ball distributor. He's that guy who runs the offense now alongside others, but the team goes as Harry Skinner goes. I think that's kind of what you think of Bluffton right now, although they have other guys coming into form. So Bluffton's looking good, 77-64. They pulled away late in that one. Carleton County knocking off Beaufort 50-44 for the Cougars. May River 51-38, taking down Bishop England. So the team that Hilton had lost to, Bishop England, May River wins that one 51-38. So it's looking like the Sharks and the Bobcats on a collision course here in this region. I think those are the best two teams, and I think those two teams will decide the region championship at this moment, in my opinion.
And May River had a back-to-back because today they played Hardyville. And that was about an 8-point, according to Misa, that was about an 8-point game in the fourth quarter, and May River ended up breaking away.
The biggest story in high school basketball last night, the Battery Creek Dolphins downing the Land Sharks of Oceanside Collegiate 71-58, and we got the coach with us right now, C.J. Brown. Welcome to the show. How are you feeling after a tremendous result last night?
Oh man, always honoring God, man, as He's always ahead of my life, man. So just excited, man. Guys, people think that you're not going to sleep, but like I tell them, man, I'm one person that's going to get sleep regardless. So I was able to sleep better, if you can say that, man. But it was a big thing for our community, for our school, and for our program.
It's hard to sleep after you're so hyped after a big win like that. I mean, you guys this is a monumental victory for this program. What you guys did last night. Talk me more about how that game progressed and how you're able to pull ahead of the Land Sharks, pick up a uh, absolutely humongous region win.
Well, most definitely, man. Always giving respect to Coach Q. At Oceanside, man, a real solid coach, former college player at College of Charleston. So I know him, man, from just playing him for some while now. But I also hats off to my coaching staff, Coach Capers, that we were able to actually have a week and a half, I believe, off of not
Yeah.
playing any tournaments after the BC Classics. So we were resting well. Had some guys that was banged up, not no crazy injuries, but some minor stuff to where we were getting a lot of rest. So comes with a lot of rest, man. A lot of film that we were able to watch, a few games, just to see what their tendency was, man. And we know that we were facing a big challenge when they came up in here, and we went four overtime, so we played two extra quarters, and our guys
And win
played with
overtime.
adversity. Yep, we played four overtimes, and our guy
Was it
played through
four
Wow,
adversity
overtime
and
wow.
game?
stuck
You said.
together. Excuse me.
You said that I couldn't hear you correctly. That did you say that game went to how many overtimes?
Four
Four overtimes.
overtimes, man. So
Goodness.
two more quarters.
And then you guys won by 13. You pulled
13.
away and won by 13. Correct.
Yep.
How about that?
We had an opportunity to win by 2 or 3, but we turned the ball over in some crucial seconds of the last in the official game, man. But other than that, man, once we kept on getting life, man, we understood that it's either here or now. So we had a lot of momentum going with us, man, and our crowd was pretty well.
CJ Brown,
So,
head coach of the Battery Creek Dolphins. Tell me about the studs who stepped up for you to deliver this win.
And my guys, my starting five is playing well. Ethan Cox right now is averaging a double for us. Michael Williams probably had his career high for his whole probably high school career. Had 30 points last night.
wow.
Tywan Simmons, he averaged or contribute 20 plus, and Tyrese Smith, I think he had more than 8 points, but those guys are playing well together, man. Guys came off the bench, Zion and Michael Cohen. They came off and gave our bigs some rest. But everybody, even our bench guys, man, they did pretty well. Everybody did pretty well for us.
Coach, talk about what you've seen out of your team as a whole this year, which certainly led to this big win last night.
Well, before the May River, man, we were rocking pretty good. We wanted to show better against May River. I think it's always, even with the teams that we beat before May River, we was always trailing, but we were able to, get back in the game and take off from there. May River came out pretty strong in the classics and hit us pretty hard, and we weren't able to, recover, man. So hats off to them. But it's not like, our guys didn't know that. We know what Coach Ben is about, man. He run those guys hard. Those guys play hard. KJ play well. Albright plays well. All those guys are pretty good, man. But our guys we've been harping on just playing against adversity, because we know that that's been our biggest thing over the few years, is how we approach adversity once being down by either 5 or 4. So we just wanted our guys to stay together.
How do you overcome it? How do you
Yep.
build on it as a team? And you guys played prep today, as what we're seeing on the schedule.
Yeah. We ended up being prepped by 5. We had some dead legs today,
Nice.
man. We got our bench guys able to get in some work, man, to get better, because we need those guys to get better if we're going to make a big run in the playoffs. So we were just happy just to get through today's game, man. Hilton Head Prep, shout out to them for coming and competing with us, man. I know they got better today. Our guys got better, but we had pretty much dead legs today, man. We were just ready to get that game over with, man, and get out of here.
What was the final of that, Coach?
I think it was 58-55, I believe.
Beat them by 3, 58-55?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna log that in. I've got the call on WHHI TV of Prep and Bluffton at Prep on Monday, so wanted to stick that in for my records, and I wasn't able to find a score. So appreciate that very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I mean,
Yeah.
impressive win, coach. You know, obviously that's the first of what hopefully is to be many region wins, but obviously I think we all know very tough region that you guys play in, because Oceanside isn't the only team you guys would have to worry about. Obviously, Orangeburg Wilkinson is a very powerful, very strong program, has been for years, and especially a very strong program this year. North Charleston's been known to have some really strong teams, and same thing with Hanahan. This is a very tough region, but tell me, you know, how determined this team that you are coaching is right now after what was a very impressive win over Oceanside.
Like we tell our guys, man, 3 out of 5 of our teams in region are ranked, in the top 10, top
Right,
20. Um, it's not an easy night either night we play. Even Hanahan, you can't count them out because they play hard at
right,
home as well, man. So, but I know with this win over Oceanside, man, it's more of a statement for the other teams. Granted, they are 4-10, but the Beaufort market and the Charleston market is totally different. So
right,
Oceanside has been playing, some 4A, 5As, played a couple of teams from out of state. So they've been playing some good teams, man. But I think this is going to carry on for us, man. We don't play again until Friday, so we get to get more rest. We play Hanahan Friday
Good.
at Hanahan, and then after that we play North Charleston. So we're looking to go 2-0 early, and I think that's going to give us enough confidence to really, make a statement, man, and make a run. Because all we need is to beat everybody at home. And if we got to split with teams, that's cool. But making sure we do it within the points differentiation.
Right. Yep. That's you take it one game at a time. Certainly, a lot of confidence being built after what you guys did yesterday and then today, knocking off Hilton at Prep after the winner of Oceanside. But just talk to me about this region. What lies ahead? You got Hanahan, North Charleston, Orangeburg, Wilkinson. Those road games are never easy, especially. But talk to me about the energy of this team and what you're most looking forward to is as you continue in region play. Now that you guys are off to a 1-0 start.
We also talk to our guys about how every possession matters.
Yep.
I know in some games, man, when we play against the Beaufort Highs and Well Branch, man, we kind of slack off a little bit. Like May River, man, I give it up to Coach Bennett, man, because again, once we got behind, he didn't. Those guys didn't slack off,
Yep.
man. So every possession matters, but it's no easy game for us, man. From here on out, I mean, we're going to study as a coaching staff. We're going to study each film, each team like we already done and already do now. So, and even their environments, man, playing in Orangeburg, playing in Oceanside, playing in North Charleston, Hanahan, those are not no easy environments to play.
Yep.
Right.
So we just gotta play.
That gym must have been rocking last night. They must have been getting pretty crazy over there.
Oh man,
You guys love you guys love celebrating. I mean, that gym that gets pretty live when you guys pick a big win like that. So
yeah, we had we ended up playing at 6:30. Didn't end the game until 9:30. So and then the girls had the last game.
I mean, that's as impressive as a win as you can get, especially in what was it, quadruple overtime?
Yeah.
Like a really impressive win. Obviously, like we said, a very tough road ahead. But I think confidence is clearly there. I think looking back at how y'all started the season, the teams you played, obviously you got some challenges, of course, in May River during the tournament, which I think was always a huge help to have those challenging games.
Right.
And I'm sure you could say the same. I think, you look at your schedule, the way y'all scheduled it, I think I would ask, was it so you could be prepared for the upcoming region play and, be completely ready for the challenges that lay ahead of you?
Well, I'm a firm believer, man. I always talk things over with my coaching staff. It's never me just making the decisions by myself, man. But over the past few years, man, we have been playing a lot of basketball, and your body is like a car. Once you put on a lot of mileage, it starts to deteriorate quick or depreciate. So I've been seeing over the years, man, that our bodies, our players have been taking a big hit with playing a lot of basketball. Even though I'm a fan of playing a lot of basketball, but it's not working for us, man. So I have to, as a head coach, man, I have to see how we can get better in that weight room, get it stronger, get
Right.
more serious about the diet, so our guys can start playing a lot of basketball. But that's going to come more so starting as a freshman, building that
Hmm.
body up now, man. But I would love to play more games. We had to cancel one game against May River because they played an Australian team and they wanted to, show
Right.
Yep.
hospitality,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is understandable.
Right.
Yep.
We had Hampton scheduled, but it was some miscommunications on where they was going to be, and our school was closed over the break. So we had more games to play, at least two more. But for me, man, the biggest thing was our bodies and how we actually respond. We're playing a lot of basketball, so it was good for us to rest for a while. We still got a competitive team, so practices was just like games in a sense, to where first team's going against second team. We mixing it up to where first team's not always together, but different guys going at each other. So it's still it was all right, man, to play the games that we are playing now. But now it seems like it's working in our favor.
You guys play in the Palace, correct? Is that what your
Well,
gym
it
is called?
was the Palace. Yeah, it was the Palace. I played in the Palace, class of 2010, with Coach Draft, but we dedicated we dedicated the gym to the Hall of Fame and legendary Coach Scrum, who recently passed away.
Oh, nice,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that environment. It's been, gosh, since I think 2017 that I was there. I was either there in 17 or 18 doing a doubleheader on WHHI against then Ridgeland Hardyville. So it's been that long since I've been in that gym. Talk about the environment there with everybody coming out and seeing you guys. Got to be a very festive atmosphere, no doubt.
Well, I gave credit to my guys, man, as I looked around the locker room. Um, Everybody and all my kids are from Burton, South Carolina. We don't have kids from. I mean, we got one kid that lives, out and about, man, that transferred in from us from Buford High. But other than that, man, every kid that's on my team
Bro,
is from
Local,
Burton, South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
homegrown.
So I
Yeah.
don't have, we don't have the kids coming from all over the place, man, which is, it's unfortunate, but I told them that's one of the things that should keep you going. Like, you guys are homegrown, went
Right.
to Robert Smalls Leadership Academy. Now you coming to school like Battle Creek High School right in your neighborhood, man. So this is what matters the most while you playing as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny you mentioned all these kids coming from Burton. Of course, I work at Burton Wells Rec Center right down the road from Battery Creek every day. And I've seen some of these kids grow up playing basketball at Burton Wells Rec Center, and now I'm playing high school ball at the Battery Creek. And it's a cool experience for me is to see some of these kids, grow up playing youth basketball and now moving up and now being successful at Battery Creek, especially with that incredible quadruple overtime win against what has always been a very strong Oceanside program. So, to know that, like, with the way that the high school league operates now with all the transfer portal opportunities and stuff like that, to know that there's a team here in our area that is just full of homegrown players from literally anywhere within a 5-minute radius of the school is a really, really cool opportunity. And I'm sure you can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not from the Burton area. I think just me, man. I think we are kind of overpopulated with schools in the area.
Hmm.
I know the place and the community has grown, but I just can imagine what times would be if it was just Buford High and Battery Creek, and just this area, man. And I know we'll probably be 5A schools, man, but I think the competition
Yeah.
would be phenomenal, man. Way before the split ever happened, I think you would see probably more state championships, or both teams hitting that lower state championships every year or every other year, competing with upper state. But
That's the goal. That's what we want to see. And I think that basketball, we've got some quality teams around here. Bluffton, May River, off to solid starts, but it's difficult to take that next step because there's always some good talent from the middle of the state, from the Grand Strand region. So It definitely takes a lot, and it takes a team to buy in and get the most out of who they have. And it seems you guys have really exemplified that with the start that you have had. Obviously, punctuated by the win that you just pulled off against Oceanside. But we've seen this pattern. I mean, the only two losses so far for you guys at Wando. No shame in that on the road. First game of the year, and then to a very good May River team. Talk me more. Well, two things. Tell me about just about how you guys have really bought in this year, and how this team has really grown from previous seasons. But also talking about this May River team and what you saw from them in that game, and what you think they could do this season in Class 4A.
Well, it's year 7 for me, man. So I won't act like as if it's always been a glorious year for me, but it's year 7 for me, man. So I've been taking some really bad seasons to where 1-20, 3-20. Really tough years. It wasn't until I think a couple of years, those guys got me to the first round of the playoffs, that we really started to make that run where 2025, man, or 2024, we end up going to Loris and losing by 6 when we were the number 4 seed, and we played the number 1 seed at Loris and ended up losing that game by 6. So that group really started it off. But year 7, man, it's been always just stacking days, taking each part of our program, whether it's behavior, whether it's attitude, whether it's just trying to get kids to be consistent and how to actually develop as a player, just knocking those things down and within seasons, man, and just weathering the storm. Had some really good coaches from the start till now, got really good coaches as well. And then, like I always tell them, man, we have the resources, believe it or not, the weight room, the things we do with our guys on and off the court, a strong FCA program. So we're doing a lot with our guys, more than what people actually see, to make it a more, respectful and more, legit program. So that's just me all in year 7, man. Just trying to build back, those days or those times, those legacies, which I played in the 2010, going to Lower State and losing double overtime to Camden. And then 2016, those guys going to Lower State and losing to Ridgeland. But having some good years, showing the guys that it's actually possible to do. May River is being ran by a good point guard. We got a great point guard too, Tyrese Smith, has grown up a lot this year. I'm talking about a kid that's watched his program from middle school. His father's bought in, he's bought in. But just like we got a good point guard, May River has a really good point guard, and I think KJ Ford is the real heart of those teams. He don't even take it like that, I believe. He's a real humble kid. Watching that game, that Bluffton and May River game at Battery Creek, where he hit that big shot to send them in overtime was, I think, to win. I think it was a big, big game, man. It was crazy that we were watching the Classics and they were playing the championship games. I thought we would have, been in the championship game. But, yeah, KJ Ford, Coach Bennett is running a good system. He got the right players to run that system that he's running. And those players are buying into the system that he's has. So they're going to be pretty strong in that region. I see Hilton Head with Coach Brown over there. Shane Brown over there is playing pretty hard. Coach Gabriel with Harry coming back. A strong Bluffton team. Not sleeping on Buford High. We can't forget that 3 years ago they were playing in 3 rounds or the 3rd round of the playoffs. So and then you got Bishop England. So that region's pretty. I mean, it's still up for grabs, man. But I think the May River, Bluffton, and Hilton Head Bluffton is really going to be the factors of that region.
I think you're right. As I mentioned earlier, May River, Bluffton, those look like the top 2 teams in that region. But a testament for you for what you've done for this program for a number of years, and being there through the ups and downs. And there were, as you mentioned, there were several downs early on, but just staying the course and continuing to put these guys in the right direction. This has got to be rewarding for you to see what you guys have done so far and the promise of what this team could do this year.
Oh man, I also got to give a shout out to my wife, man, because nobody really understands what a coach's wife go through. Parents, players see us lose games, man, and a wife, man, that goes through it with you is something else, man. So I really love my wife for being there with me for 7 years. We're about to hit 10 years of marriage. I met her in the gym, so she knows this is all I know. But just shout out to her, man, for understanding my passion and my desire and my love for coaching and always being supportive with me in this profession and knowing how it can be up and down, especially with the
Yep.
generation that we have, man. So
it's very true, and congratulations to you guys. That's absolutely incredible.
Tremendous start. CJ Brown, the coach of the Battery Creek Dolphins. We are very excited to see what you guys do from here. A couple of more big games up on the schedule at Hanahan, and then as you mentioned, home against North Charleston. So looking forward to seeing you guys compete in this region and have a chance to compete for a region title.
yeah, and that's the goal, man. We were trying to get that one playoff game home.
Yep.
If we can win region, man, that'd be great. Coming in second, man, that would be great as well. So we're trying to get that one playoff game home, man. That's the biggest goal when you're in region play. If you can stay home instead of traveling 3 hours away.
And not only that, but you get the home fans rallying behind you.
Fans,
It's special once you get into the playoffs, and especially having the home game. That's big time stuff right there. I think you guys are well on your way if you continue to keep playing like this. CJ Brown, head coach of the Battery Creek Dolphins, congratulations on a big time win, a couple of big time wins. Knocked off Prep today as well. So wish you the best of luck going forward, and look forward to having you on again soon here on the Loco Lowdown.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Coach.
Head coach CJ Brown. What a start to the year it has been for the Dolphins of Battery Creek. That is impressive as well. We've talked about how just solid and successful that Oceanside has been across the different sports that we cover here on the Loco Lowdown. Great football program, great Olympic sports program as well. But they've got some great basketball teams over the years. So this seems like a big program momentum changing win for CJ Brown, and has to feel just incredibly good for how long he has been with that program, and now you're starting to see real improvements.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, of course, with Battery Creek, like you said, in terms of transfer portal, not really much. I mean, one player from Buford High School, the rest of them are really born and raised around Battery Creek. I mean, literally within 5 minutes of the school is what Burton is. And that's where Battery Creek calls home.
Yeah.
In Burton, South Carolina, that specific area of Buford, which is where I work every day. And, so I think, it's very impressive to see what he has done and how he has built basically a homegrown team that a lot of these players have played with each other for years now. So that chemistry is definitely there, all of them playing with each other back in the days of youth basketball with them going up through middle school basketball. They've probably all played together through middle school basketball and now into the varsity level. And we're seeing how that chemistry really works. And it really showed, especially against what was, again, like you said, a quadruple overtime win against Oceanside Collegiate. They never gave up. The chemistry is there. It shows. And I think if this is, a sign of what's to come for Battery Creek, I'm all for it. And I'm ready to see this Battery Creek Dolphins team get a home playoff game and potentially win a region title. And I think we could definitely be seeing that at the end of this regular season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They are looking like they're going to be a real factor to win that region, which would be great to see for especially doing that Creek where they have not had that transfer luck. They got David Smith a couple years ago, who came over there, had a great year, around 21 or so. But certainly they have not gotten the cream of the crop in terms of recruiting over to play at Creek. But man, they are doing an incredible job, unbelievable job with who they have right now. And as we mentioned, they knocked off Prep again today, so they're looking strong into the meat of the season here in region play.
Yeah.
But a lot more basketball to talk about. But first, shouting out some more sponsors. We welcome back Hudson Seafood House on the dock to the Loco Booster Club. They're a great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Island. And the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, which just came back from the holiday break this week. A lot on the menu to talk about over there. I'm sure a lot more coming up next week. Not sure when we'll record again, but sometime early next week, I assume. College football playoff, NFL playoffs, and much more. College hoops as well. We talk a lot about that.
Yes. College hoops in full force for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Watched some great games today.
You can find the latest episode of Under the Bus on the Loco Media Network. New sponsor, Twinge and Twomley, personal injury attorneys. Rare name, remarkable service. And Hilton Island Windows and Doors, Coach Barron hanging up the coaching duties, but now setting your screens in a different way. Windows and Doors, improving your view with the local. I did not come up with that. I think it was JJ.
Nicely done, Wes. Nicely done.
I'm not taking credit for that. I'm not taking credit for that. That was Justin who came up with that. So do not.
I still love that.
Yeah.
Still makes me laugh.
But it's fantastic. Yes, Max. We went through a couple of the scores. I'm not sure how much you saw. Obviously, Oceanside knocking off Battery Creek. That was a big time. Or Battery Creek knocking off Oceanside. That was a big time result from last night. But a couple other big ones. Bluffton, a nice second half win, or nice second half performance in the win over Hilton. Had 77-64 with Harry Skinner going off for 32, and then Carleton County over Beaufort. May River 51-38. It was not entirely close. The Sharks are looking really good.
Yeah,
but it's
early and with basically is the first week of region play. The signs are starting to show. Like the teams are starting to emerge as favorites. I think we can all agree. Obviously, that Hilton Head team is going to be still, I think, in the running. Despite that loss to Bluffton, I still think they're in the running.
Lost to Bishop as well.
Top three team. But I do think, after that first week, I think we see the signs that this is a battle for Bluffton collision that's going to take place between these two teams. We already saw them play. I mean, we already saw them play at the Battery Creek, the BC Classic.
And that went overtime.
Before Christmas break, and watched what was an overtime thriller between these two teams, and I would expect that again, especially with how Bluffton's been playing as of late. Despite not having two of their starters for the rest of the year, of course, like we mentioned, in Aiden McCarthy and Carnell Warren, both now at college, getting ready for the next football season. For their schools at, of course, UMass and University of North Carolina.
Indeed. It's a bit longer. The 23rd, so 2 Fridays from now, will be the first region meeting of region play. That will be at Bluffton on the 23rd.
I will guarantee you half of Bluffton, half of the entire population of Bluffton.
Get there early because that is going to be one packed gym that night. It might be one of the more packed gyms that we will ever see. Especially because of how good both of those teams are.
You and I, Wes, you and I remember last year the game at May River last year between those two teams, and that place was packed and it was rocking like I'd never seen it before.
That looked like a big time college game or big time high school game that you see in Indiana.
It was the game
when Indiana's playing the college football playoff, then everyone's watching football.
Absolutely. Expect more of that for these next two games that these two teams will be playing each other. And again, May River won the first round. Let's see how the next two rounds go.
I love it because it's a best of three. You don't have a split.
And the best part is it's a home game, it's an away game, and a neutral site game. It's
perfect.
It's perfect. You couldn't ask for anything better. But we got to see a snippet of what these two teams might be able to go up against each other with. We saw how they played against each other the first time around, and I wouldn't expect anything less than what we saw that first time around before the Christmas break. And expect potential overtime games again over the next two games, or a down to the wire kind of game. I mean, that's definitely what this looks like. And again, we after this first week of region games, these two teams have emerged as the two favorites within this 4A region, and 100%.
I
I
think
definitely
you
agree with
put
that.
like right now. I think Bluffton and May River are like on the top tier, and then you got Hilton Head, Bishop England. I think below that. As for what looks right now, and then
Correct.
you never know. In Colleton, actually
Colleton played well.
Colleton, they knocked off
They
Beaufort,
knocked
so
them off.
Colleton got the win there. So good for the Cougars to pull off that victory.
I'll tell you this though: if there's a team that's going to cause some chaos in this region as region play continues, it's Colleton. I 100% agree. Believe that. I've seen some clips of how they can play and how they have played so far this season, and I really do believe they're one of those teams that I think can make the playoffs and be a disruptor in the 4A region against both May River, Bluffton, Hilton Head, and Bishop England. I think those 4 teams is not safe against Colleton County, both home and away. And it's very interesting.
I want to go back to that Bluffton game real quick. I just wanted to mention some guys who really, obviously Harry Skinner, but man, Ethan Foster was tremendous.
He's been, like I said, he's been tremendous too.
Yeah.
He and Gadsden and
he has stepped up in the wake of losing Aiden and Carnell. He has really stepped up as that person that Harry can trust on this team alongside Malcolm Gordon. I think those two guys have really stepped up.
Beast on the boards. He was
He
just never quits on any possession. He is a fun guy to watch. Electricity with his game. But man, with Gordon and with Foster, they have guys who could complement Harry Skinner really well. And then you have Luke Corn, another guy who could shoot it and make some threes. So
Luke Cairns has been really, really good as well from deep, making some big plays when needed. I actually had a chance to talk to some of his family recently, and that young man is right up there with the rest of them, just giving it everything that he has. And Coach Gabriel, real pleased with him, I'm sure.
I think Coach Gabriel is pleased with this entire team with how they
you got to be at this point.
I mean they give it everything that they've got, and it's intense for sure. But it's been fun seeing as much Bluffton as I have, and to have the first game that I'm doing, actually first 2 games that I'll be doing will be Bluffton games. But at Hilton Head Prep on Monday, and then next Tuesday have the game at Beaufort, the doubleheader at Beaufort.
Right.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah.
But I would say,
I may have to make an appearance at on that Monday game at Hilton Head Prep. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. That should be a terrific game. And it's the standalone game, the only game in town that night. So we can roll our eyes on that one. So looking forward to Monday night and having yourself on the call.
Yeah.
Girls and guys games of the week right around the corner.
Looking forward to it. We talked about Bluffton, but my God, this May River team is just they are a juggernaut. I mean, they have not been stopped this year. Undefeated still. And in the latest, division rankings, they are 3rd, and for good reason. I mean, every team they have faced, they have really walked over, apart from Bluffton. I mean, that was the closest game they have had this year. The rest of them have been really just walkovers, and really they just run away with it in the 4th quarter. And it's
they
really
played here for the most part. Although, I mean, what was their closest game? JP2. Oh, I believe before, other than Bluffton, their closest game was, I believe, JP2.
JP2.
Credit to JP2 for what they've done this year.
Yeah. They're strong too.
Yeah,
that team is really good. But this May River team, man, I mean, with KJ Ford leading the way, and what has been one of the most, I mean, we've talked about it before. They are one of the most fundamentally sound basketball teams you will see. They may not have, in terms of talent, they may not have the biggest, toughest, most physical dudes on a basketball team, but my God, they can play fundamental basketball. They shoot the ball from the 3-point line really well, and they find ways to get open. They pass the ball, and they pass it well, and it's really tough to stop this team. But the one thing that really sets them apart from other teams is how they play defense. I mean, they really have been. I mean, I saw it at the Battery. Yeah, I saw it at the Battery Creek Classic. I mean, their defense is unlike anything. I mean, if Battery Creek had found ways to score at the beginning, I think it would have been a closer game. But the way that May River defense showed up at the start of that game, Battery Creek was shook by it. And I think Coach CJ would have told you they just weren't quite ready for that defense that May River showed and how aggressive they can be.
I'm really interested to see, and I saw them for about 3 quarters against Hilton Head Prep earlier in December. The only other games that I have to scout, I have to see the May River girls, and I have to see both teams of Beaufort. So guess who's going to Beaufort next Friday for that doubleheader to scout? This guy. I'm really interested to see what that matchup looks like on both the girls and guys side between May River and Beaufort, because obviously to me, Beaufort on the girls side is one of the talks of 4A, let alone this area. And the girls are off to a pretty good start. The guys a little bit down in the weeds a little. And you can maybe say the same thing about the May River girls. So I'm really interested to see how everything's going to shake out next Friday night too.
I think both those games you kind of know who was favored in them, but I think that the youth you're talking about of that May River girls team, they're looking to find their way, and you can say the same.
Well, and the same thing goes with the youth of the Beaufort boys team too. I mean, they're a very young team. Yeah, very young team, and it shows at times. I think we talk about how clear of a picture at the moment it is for the boys side of the 4A division. I think it's kind of the same thing with the girls side right now. I think we know that Bishop England's that clear and obvious number one right now after the first week of region play. But I think Beaufort and Colleton County kind of follow behind as the next two teams. I think Beaufort's right now, Beaufort's more of that solid number 2 team, with I think Colleton County's trailing just behind. But I think May River is kind of in that mix as well. Despite the youth, they're very well fundamental women's basketball team that can disrupt in the 4A division.
But that margin of victory, 69-31. No, that was impressive from Beaufort to see them win by that large of a margin. Shows how good they are, and maybe Colleton still need some time to continue to improve and find a way to get on that level of Beaufort, but certainly will not be easy. I think Beaufort and Bishop England are clearly the top 2 teams right now. I think that Hilton Head has shown flashes of improvement. I thought that win over Bluffton was very impressive. I want to shout out to someone in particular on that team, and not for the play you'd expect, because I mean, this was it seemed like it always is, like a physical battle towards the end between these two teams. It seemed like they always played out that way. But Olivia Brockway, they made the play of the game, and it wasn't even on a scoring possession. It was on a deflected pass. In a tie game with a few seconds left, for Bluffton had a player open right below the basket, and would have been an easy layup for the win at the buzzer. But Olivia Brockway found a way to deflect that pass and save the game for Hilton Head, and kept in prior to overtime, and eventually they won in OT with a couple of big time free throws. But that's the kind of play that Coach Raniszewski loves to see. I mean, you talk about someone going all out in a situation where the game was on the line, and if she didn't deflect that pass, that probably would have been an easy game win layup for Bluffton. And ended up being a huge region win on the other end for Hilton Head. So, to shout out Olivia Brockway, and she's been more than that. She's been a very consistent scorer, great leader of that team, even just a sophomore. She's just really wise beyond her years. Just a tremendous IQ play by Olivia Brockway to help set up that win. Kat Gavin, great performance for her as a senior. She always she seems to come up big in some important spots this year. And Addie Freeman as well has shown some good signs. But not to be out of time, Bluffton hung in there, and I was impressed with how that young Bluffton team hung tough in that game. Tamara Bolden with 10 points to lead all scorers in that game. So I think they got something good cooking with her. But right now it does seem as Beaufort and Bishop England on the girls' side, as you're looking at that region unfolding over there.
Away from the high school league, I still continue to be very impressed with what JP2's doing, both on the girls and the guys side of things.
They have been tremendous so far. That JP2 girls program, they have not. I'm not sure when I'll have to check and see when their next games being played. I think they're still getting
see
ready
them
to come back
against
after the holiday break, but they had a great start to the year.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing this JP2 girls team in action. Karen Floyd has built up the program over there. They're 8-2. They got a good win against Wilson Hall on Tuesday on the road.
Okay.
That's a 10-4 Wilson Hall team, so that should be a good matchup.
I'm looking forward to calling the doubleheader on the 27th, girls and guys
HHCA,
against
right.
HHCA.
Yeah, although
JP2.
I would not have believed it a couple years ago that although these two teams did meet in the state championship game recently, and
that was our first assignment together.
That was the first time I ever called a game with Max Arash. Way back at the Cove, USCB.
The Cove, yeah.
Actually, they played it right after. I think they played it right after the.
There was a USCB game.
USCB women's game.
I was also there.
Yep. Speaking of USCB, how about the clutch play of Evan Kilminster, Max? He did it again tonight. He did it again today.
I have the one winner Wednesday.
Around 2 seconds left.
Yeah. This is the one from Wednesday, which was an absolute just astonishing shot.
By the way, Jeremy Orr on the call.
Yeah.
Jeremy Orr and Rich Basirico on the call here.
See what you got. Up. He's got it. Wow.
They had to check it. They had to check the monitor afterwards to make sure he got it off in time, and he did beat the buzzer. I talked over the call. I'm sorry.
Really?
No, that's fine. But it was an incredible shot. Evan Kilminster has been the absolute clutch player for USCB this year. I mean, it was just
unreal.
Fantastic win. Of course, the referees are looking at it here. We're waiting to hear whether or not this is going to go through, and just waiting to see. There's, of course, right there, that's a former USCB media relations director, Bracken Lambert, now teacher at Hardyville High School, still helping out with the USCB games, which I absolutely love. West View somewhere in there.
I was they panned out. I was in that shot for a second, and they panned to the monitor, or where the monitor is.
They continued.
It took a while to make the decision there, but indeed it was.
And count it right there.
Shot, a good bucket.
That was it right there, and then this one, if I can get it right here.
And he does it again right here against Columbus State. 75-75, final possession of regulation right here.
3 less than that on the shot clock, I should say. 10 on the shot clock. 75-75, 11 seconds in the game. 6 on the shot clock. Kilminster almost lost it. He saved it. Kilminster 1 on the shot clock. Good. Are you kidding me? With 2.5 seconds, he threw a prayer and answered. And CSU is going to call
the degree of difficulty.
There was 1 second. He was fading away, and he threw up a desperation shot, and it was nothing.
What more could
he almost lost control of the ball. He got it back, and then still found a way to put one up. And he drains it. It's just unbelievable. Unreal.
It's just unreal. He is, I say it again, he's the most clutch player I think we have had in USCB's short history. He has been an absolute stud, and he has had game winners here and there throughout the season. I mean, that's not even his first and second. That's like his third and fourth game winners of the year.
I believe it was his third game-winning bucket, which is just incredible.
You put the ball in his hands, and you can trust.
Third game-winning shot this season. Jeremy Orr. Shout out to Jeremy Orr for that stat. But yeah, third game winner of the season, and it's only January 10th. We're not even halfway through the year.
He has been an absolute steal for USCB to get him to come over and play basketball here this year. Former, I believe, College of Charleston. Player and
Division I player, and what a find he has been for Ron Fidal in this program. Exactly who you needed. Someone who is able to not just lead the team, but come up with the big clutch shots. And,
but some of the players that they've gotten this year, has been, I mean, outstanding. You know, Ish Rashid has really stepped up this year. You know, obviously Dominic Eason keeps playing like he's playing. By the way, these 2 games that they've won, these 2 close games, they did all of it without Kevon Price, who has been out this entire
That's
week.
a big key.
Yep. Other guys were,
and for them to win these very important games, to put them now at 5-3 in a really good spot in Peach Belt Conference standings after 2 wins over opponents that had better records.
And by the way, I didn't mention this, but Karan Anderson and Ismail Rashid
Karan,
were the leading scorers in that game. They both scored 16.
Karan Anderson.
Yeah.
Karan Anderson has been absolutely
He's been awesome
fantastic for USCB this year. And really, he has been a great person to have after Alejandro Lalot, of course, graduated and is now playing pro ball down in Puerto Rico. Kawan and Evan Kilminster have been great assets after losing such an important player like Alejandro. And having these 2 players now step up and step in, you know, in those positions as to being able to be the clutch shooters, the playmakers that they need on this team to go alongside players like Dominic Eason and Kevon Price. This team is stacked. I mean, we have said it all season long. I know we started out rough just because of injuries and whatnot, injuries and illness that just wiped out pretty much almost the entire team to start out, you know, conference play. I mean, this team is really, you know, they're healthy again, apart from Kevon Price. Hopefully he's returning soon. Hopefully. And you know, when you add him into the fold, boy, it's going to be tough to stop this USCB team who beat what has been a very solid Columbus State team this year. Again, you know, they were the top team last year. We took them down in the conference tournament semifinals to go to a conference championship game. So, I mean, this USCB team is firing on all cylinders right now. They're playing some of the best basketball we have seen them play so far this season, and it's showing. And I think the Peach Belt Conference knows that this is not a team you want to mess with right now with how they've been playing.
No doubt. Yeah. They have been. They certainly didn't start off as well as you would have hoped for this conference play, but they have really turned it on. And when you get big time performance like that in big situations in the game, that's what it all takes. The margins are so thin.
By the way,
in this conference, so that puts them
fourth.
Puts them fourth. And yeah, I mean they're right in this thing. They're a half game behind first place. North Georgia and Georgia College are all 5-2.
And by the way, North Georgia, who's again having an incredible season, is at the Cove next Saturday for
that's a
what is
huge
going to be a potential,
for
a very good game against a very ranked team, a very very tough ranked opponent. In North Georgia.
Nice win for the women on Wednesday as they took down Flagler, and man, they displayed a valiant effort today against I believe number 19 team in the country.
Number 19.
They lost by around 4. That's impressive stuff that we're seeing from the Sharon Versip coach team. They're really starting to find it here. In year 3. They lost 79-75 against Columbus State. The Cougars are 6-1 in Peach Belt play.
Game for them,
Lydia Gattosi with 21. She was incredibly efficient from the line. Picked up 7 boards, and then a couple of nice games as well from Bardnero and Hayward.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was there for the most of that women's basketball game. Of course, Wes, you're on the call with Jeremy Orr, and for most of that game, I mean, USCB was up nearly 20 points over Flagler. I mean, they were really just playing some really solid basketball, great defense. Really causing Flagler to make some mistakes, especially through that third and fourth quarter of the game. Obviously, the end score was closer than what that game really was, but they went on a tear against Flagler. And honestly, today, despite the loss, that's a really good game against what is a very good Columbus State team. It's a good loss, and it's a learning experience for them. But I mean, the way they're playing right now, we're looking at 2 teams right now for USCB that are both teams with potential if they continue playing the way they have been, to not only be real contenders for conference championships, but we're starting to talk about not just the men's team, but possibly the women's team having a shot at making the NCAA tournament.
I think they're right on the cusp as well. They're if they can stay healthy and you get Lydia Gattuso and Hayward playing like the players that we know,
with Bowman to help out as well.
And Bowman's been great. Tanaya Bowman, obviously, only 4 points today, but she only played 7 minutes. Not sure.
She may have. It might be in it. Well, I hate saying this.
Might be I haven't heard anything, but no, you can speculate about that. But if she's able to stay healthy, she's gonna be an important piece down the stretch.
Yeah, we are hoping that's not an injury.
She could be an important piece as well. She's gotten a lot more minutes. And then Courtney Campbell, young players started to find it. She made a bucket today, 1 for 5 from the field. She just needs to find that confidence and overcome that hurdle. It's difficult to.
And by the way, next Saturday's home game. Obviously, the women's team's going up against a very tough and very strong, historic North Georgia women's basketball program. Who, if we remember the last time these two teams played at home, North Georgia was ranked 5th in the country. So this is going to be a big game between these two. By the way, currently North Georgia is sitting the men's team's 15th in the country in the latest NCAA basketball rankings. So this is going to be a big match.
Obviously, the men
for
USP men knocked them off a year ago last year. That was a huge breakthrough win.
Great game too. It was a fantastic game, and of course we had shown the end of that game with Justin Jarrett on the call, and what a great moment it was. First win against a ranked opponent in USCB history at the time, and USCB went on to beat a ranked Columbus State that year to make it to the conference championships. So I mean, they last year they were giant killers in the PBC conference. So it's we're looking at the point where it's a home game against a very good North Georgia team for both men's and women's. And, USCB is going to do what they do best when they're at home, is really rattle the opposing teams and try to get some very impressive wins to improve on their PBC record.
Yep. Yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to seeing both these USP men's and women's teams, and this has been a fun start to conference play for both of them, especially the women. I think I've made a big stride forward this season after what we've seen the first 2 years. So they are on the road again on Wednesday at Georgia Southwestern, and then back home for a big one on the 17th, taking on North Georgia. So looking forward to that one, but that's what's going on over at USCB, and let's do our final round of sponsors, and we'll head into parting thoughts and wrap this Saturday night show up. Your booster club, or your final two sponsors, Revenants Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor and the presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Appreciate all they do. It is wrestling season across Loco, and things are starting to heat up as we head towards the postseason in a couple of weeks. And then Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Thank you, Jay's Barbershop. And now we will let Marcus Walsh kick us off with our parting thoughts for tonight.
Actually, Max, go ahead. I'm doing a little bit of work to prepare my parting
thoughts. Go ahead.
Obviously, outside the Low Country sports world, big week and weekend for football. Obviously, the college football playoff semifinals took place on Thursday and Friday, which I still find weird that they decided to play a semifinal game on very odd,
but obviously they don't want to compete with the NFL.
Right, exactly, and that's the downside of it. But what an absolute semifinal classic between Miami and Ole Miss, down to the wire game, walk-off touchdown for Carson Beck to give Miami back into the national championship game for the first time since the early 2001.
They won the championship. 2001. That was a tremendous team, one of the best college football teams.
Yes,
the last couple of decades.
And speaking of, great win for Miami to move on to the national championship game, and then Indiana absolutely obliterating Oregon, sending them straight to the depths, and just what an impressive win by that Indiana team. Kirk Cignetti is the real deal. This Indiana team is the real deal. And, while Miami is a very impressive team, and they've been very impressive this year, God, they have their hands full. And potentially their work cut out for them against what has been an absolutely just dominating Indiana team.
Very, very
but
impressive.
I expect it to be a great national championship game. But I think, we look at these two teams and you just say, wow, it's going to be an uphill battle, for Miami in this one. But the funniest thing is for me is we have a national championship game and neither one of the teams are from the SEC, which is very interesting.
Believe it.
And it's,
we got the ACC, and the crazy thing is that
team is a national championship game.
Championship because Duke won it and they didn't even make the playoff. And
they didn't even make the playoff.
Right.
Everybody was talking about the, whether or not Miami or Notre Dame should get in. I think the college football playoff committee made a very good decision in putting Miami in.
Our apologies to Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, but
just with those
was Miami. Just about how well that defense has been playing, what Mario Cristobal's done. I was hoping it would be he would have to go against his former team in Oregon, but no, it's going to be a dominant Indiana team. I think there'll be the favorites. Although Miami gets played at home,
Indiana is
their home.
Yeah, Indiana is the favorite. They're favored by 7.5.
They are favored by 7.5. But we should remind everyone this is at Hard Rock Stadium.
It is, so that
is Miami's home.
That plays in the line, but you would expect.
Yes, I think we all think Indiana is definitely the favorite. Obviously, like Marcus said, 7-point favorite in this one. It kind of showed, especially against that Oregon team. Look, we remind everyone that game between Oregon and Indiana had the potentially two top two draft picks for the upcoming draft. And, of course, Fernando Mendoza and drawing a blank on Oregon's quarterback. What's his name? I can't think of it. Whatever his name is, I'm gonna get roasted for that one.
Dante Moore.
Yes,
Moore. Thank you. I think they remind everyone these two teams played at Oregon earlier in the year, back in October. And it was a 10-point game between these two teams, with an Indiana getting the win, obviously, to remain undefeated. And, at this time around, Indiana had their number. The entire way. And it just really showed that this Indiana team, which, by the way, no 5-star recruits on this team, by the way. This is a team.
I'll tell you what, that is more than impressive what that Indiana program has done this year, and what Coach Kurt Cignetti. I think this has been must be one of the best coaching jobs we have seen anywhere at any college level. And not only that, but they'll be the first team, if they beat Miami, they'll be the first team to go 16-0 since Yale in the 1800s. Nobody's done it since
wow.
2 centuries ago.
Way back in the archives.
Way back there.
That was football. Football was much different back then.
It should be a fun, interesting game between those two. So I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, NFL playoffs kicked off tonight. Wes, unfortunately, your Panthers fought hard, man. They fought for that game. They really did. It was
Jalen Coker with an unbelievable performance. Caught the go-ahead touchdown with about 2 minutes left, but Matthew Stafford showing why he might be the MVP of the league. And Carolina made some adjustments defensively. They were able to slow them down a bit, but Stafford able to put together the game-winning drive. What a catch from the tight end who made that catch in the end zone. That was a spectacular grab. Yeah, spectacular grab, and good for Puna Ford. I think, Puna had a big impact on this game as well. He had a sack early on. Impact. His pressure was very important for LA in this game. And
to make matters worse, currently Green Bay is up 14-3 over Chicago. If any of you who are Packers fans, I'm sorry, but I really want Chicago to win this one.
Green Bay would go to Seattle.
I'd rather see,
and then
I'd rather
LA
see
would
Chicago
play either Philly or San Francisco.
I agree. I really wanted Chicago in this matchup. I do happen to know a couple of big Green
It's
Bay
only the
Packers
second quarter.
fans.
It's only the second quarter.
Yeah, it's a long,
Jeremy-
long way to go.
Jeremy
Long
Pope
way to
is
go.
one of them. It was 20-3 a second ago. They must have taken that touchdown off the board. Green Bay looks dominant right now.
Yeah, they really do.
I
That's
think
unfortunate.
they are
Yeah,
going to run
kinda
away
felt-
with this one.
Kind of
Unfortunately,
felt like, the Chicago. How many times has Chicago just?
Man, they can't catch a break, can they? Every time they make it to the playoffs, some
yeah,
team has
it's,
to
how,
destroy
it's
them.
how many
Man.
times the Bears completely fumbled it once they've gotten the
Well,
playoffs.
the one
Right.
that comes to mind is, of course, the
Cody
back in the
Parkey,
2010s,
Cody Parkey
the
miss.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
that absolute horrible way to end the game with that
Yeah.
field goal, the triple doink.
Yeah,
on
he
the
hit
field
the
goal post.
upright and then the crossbar and they went out.
God.
Yeah, that was heartbreak for the Bears and they
I
were
had such high hopes for that Bears team though for the future. If they don't get the win
I think
tonight,
Caleb
though,
Williams
I
has
still
shown that
see
he can
them
be
as
the
a
guy,
favorite.
and they have some weapons around him.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson proved a lot this year with what he
he's
has
done a
done.
ton.
Because I felt some people thought it would be a disaster, or at least it wouldn't have gone well for him in Chicago. But he's
and then
gotten into the playoffs,
Yeah.
won the division, so
and then
certainly would be
the last
disappointing to
thing.
see them go down here.
Yeah, the last thing obviously we have games tomorrow in the NFL. Some pretty big matchups. Of course, you can definitely go look at that on ESPN. I'm not gonna call them out for you, but I will say because I haven't been on the show this week, obviously the Falcons have cleaned house, the entire house, the way it's going. No longer have the head coach. You no longer have the general manager or the CEO of the Falcons. The new CEO was announced. Matt Ryan today was announced as the new president of football, which is very exciting.
Like it.
It's a great hire.
That's cool.
And then go from there. Obviously, they're going to be looking at a lot of head coaches, coaching candidates, including one that I really have high hopes that they could possibly land in John Harbaugh. I think he would be a great asset for Atlanta, and I think for any head coaching candidate, you would think right now among all the teams, the two teams that are the most appealing right now is, of course, the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
Right now with obviously the talent that both of those teams have. Of course, Lamar Jackson for the Baltimore Ravens, along with other players, including Derrick Henry. And then with the Falcons, you have, two quarterbacks who could both be the future for Atlanta Falcons, or at least for the foreseeable future, in Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. You got a fantastic running back in Bijan Robinson. Potentially, if Kyle Pitts returns, he's going to be a free agent this offseason unless Atlanta can strike a deal with him. And you got a great receiving core as well. So two very appealing teams right now, and probably the most appealing job opportunities for any head coaching candidate.
It's going to be interesting to see how the coach carousel fits and how it plays out, because there are a lot of interesting names and some big time
Mike
jobs.
McDaniel is one of those former Miami Dolphins head coach.
I don't see him getting a head coaching job.
He's not going to get a head coaching job, but you can be sure he will get a offensive coordinator job.
He'll get a coordinator job.
Yeah.
He's not getting a head coaching job.
Which I will say, potentially, the Atlanta Falcons sounds like they're going to try and keep their defensive coordinator, who did a fantastic job this year, Jeff Erblack, who was fantastic this year. And that was one of the best defenses in Atlanta history. I mean, second in the league in sacks this year. Most sacks the Atlanta Falcons have ever had in a regular season. Most ever. And most of these sacks were done by two rookies. I mean, this is a young but very energetic defense. So again, like I said, this is one of the two most eye-opening jobs for anyone who's a potential head coaching candidate.
Right.
Yep.
Have a couple of thoughts.
Go ahead,
you were finished, Max.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a couple of thoughts on the national championship. I didn't see much of Miami this year, but what I did see, the defense really impressed me. The offense certainly as well. The most I saw of them outside of certainly the other night against Ole Miss was that first Notre Dame game. And they made Notre Dame, the first game of the season, and they made Notre Dame look awful. They looked really, really good. I'll just come out there and say it. They made Notre Dame look awful. And it was a 3-point game.
Not wrong.
And then, of course, the following week, Notre Dame loses to Texas A&M by 1. and what was I doing? I was doing something where I couldn't watch the Miami Texas A&M game, but I mean 10-3, are you kidding me? That was
Yeah,
just
right.
crazy defense, and then
Yeah,
we
you were
saw
at
it
the heart of
against
the
Ohio
Texas game,
State,
and
At
that was
Kyle
sick.
Field,
and
at Texas A&M too,
correct.
which is one of the
Yeah.
most underrated stadium atmospheres in college football.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's hard to win there at College Station, and they came in
And
there and got
they
done.
did. And then they
They
dominated
shacked Ohio State. Yeah.
for 3 quarters, and then obviously we saw against Ole Miss. But Indiana, especially on the defensive side and with
God.
Mendoza, they look like they're on a different level right now. So unfortunately, if you're looking for a close game, I don't think you're going to see it.
I
But
wish it was the case, but I kind of agree with you on that one,
yeah,
Mark. I just don't
take
see
the
it.
over. I could see it being,
Yeah.
56 to 35. I think
Yeah.
we're going to see a ton of points for offensive guys like me.
But
It's going to be awesome for Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit to call that one.
I will say, on the contrary, that Miami offense has been really, really defiant this year, especially in the playoffs. I mean, Malachi Toney, that freshman, Miami is
holy crap,
stud. He
what
is
a dude.
Did you see that move? Those moves he made to get that touchdown against Ole Miss last night or on Thursday night?
Yeah.
What an incredible player he is, and he could be a factor in this game, despite the fact that I think both of us agree that it may not be a close game.
Yeah,
well, I think it could, but I think Indiana is shown by the way they've blown out two good teams in a row, and really, I mean, that most of those games were just domination by Indiana and by Mendoza. Right. Now, I mean, Miami's defense has been great, and that's gonna be the question. Can Miami's defense find a way to shut down Mendoza? It will not be an easy task, but certainly Chris Paul and the way he has led, it's hard to go against the fact that this Miami team has what it takes to hang in this game. So I expect it to be a fairly close game, but I mean, obviously we'll still have another week or so to go before that one kicks off. It's Monday, Martin Luther King Day on the
Monday
19th.
Yep, Monday the 19th. That's right.
With the Texans and Steelers wrapping up the playoffs. And speaking of the playoffs, I did a quick Facebook Live video shortly before we got on at 8:00. Wes and I, with this show, my Super Bowl pick is out, and it's official. I was jotting it down and going through the bracket and whatnot. I have the Philadelphia Eagles representing the NFC. I just think that through it all, and they've been, kind of mirrored in some mire from time to time this season. You take a look at what they have on offense, and when everything's clicking, I mean, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and Jalen Hurts, they're a tremendous offense, and they've got a pretty daggone good offensive line to boot. I think that they've got a really good path. I think
I'll tell you what, that Eagles Rams game could be intense.
Could be something special.
Now that's if Green Bay is able to knock off Chicago. Obviously, that would send Green Bay to Seattle.
Well, they've extended their lead. It's now 21-3 Green Bay, which I think might. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could tell you. Soldier Field is
stunned. They're stunned in Chicago
right now.
Oh boy.
My AFC team, I could have taken Denver. I've been high on Denver. I know that they're not the sexiest pick. Certainly,
Jacksonville.
Find a way to get it done.
Like that Denver team, by the number of close games they've won, it kind of feels like they're on that.
Someone,
they can start. Their defense is great. I'm not going to discount the defense because it's great.
But like you said, Wes,
New England's got a really good defense too.
Yeah.
All these close games, someone could blow out Denver at any time.
No doubt.
That's the scary side of it.
I mean, I think Jacksonville's a real threat. I think that the way that Trevor Lawrence.
I knew you were going there, Marcus. I knew it.
What's that?
Did you go Jacksonville?
Who did you pick? Right?
I've got Jacksonville getting beat tomorrow.
Oh, you got Jacksonville being beat by Buffalo. Okay, so
I have Buffalo Bills getting back to the Super Bowl. And not only do I have the Buffalo Bills getting back to the Super Bowl, people at R-Bar, people, in Buffalo, you name it, Marv Levy, of course, the Schwabby himself, Chris Berman. Nobody, and I mean nobody, circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I've got the Bills winning the whole thing over Philly.
Ooh, that's
Josh Allen MVP.
I don't hate that, but the thing for me with Buffalo this year, and while I want to trust them right now, I still don't trust them. Is they just were they had some times of inconsistencies this year, and that was my biggest struggle with them. And while I would love to take Buffalo, I'm riding high on that Jacksonville team. There's something about this team right now, especially with how Trevor Lawrence has been playing over the last few weeks, alongside the rest of his crew, including Travis Etienne. It just something about this Jacksonville team. And remind everyone, Jacksonville beat Denver this year at Denver too, and what was a huge game to give Jacksonville a shot potentially at getting the number 1 overall seed with that win. Obviously, they didn't get it. The Patriots and the Denver Broncos got the 2 seeds in front of them. But Jason Alfonso here. Last time Bills won in Jacksonville was 2013. So, you know, if they do win, long time coming for it. But something tells me that this Jacksonville team is on a tear right now. And it just looked like no one could stop them the way they've been playing. And not even Denver in their absolutely stout defense, like we have mentioned, that they were not able to stop Jacksonville from scoring, you know, and it's just, I've been waiting for this Jacksonville team to finally show up, you know, and here they are. They've shown up and they're ready to play some playoff football. While I don't hate the Buffalo Bills call for Super Bowl, I'm like in Jacksonville right now. I like how they've been playing.
I think the winner of that game is going to be I think the winner of that game goes on to the Super Bowl. Although I know New England will have a say in that, but I don't know. I think the winner of that game will have a great shot to get there. No doubt about that. But I do think Drake May and New England. I think they're from what I've seen from them.
They're true.
They're a real threat.
They're the truth. That's for sure.
Buffalo. I've got Buffalo taking on New England in the AFC Championship game.
Oh my! Wouldn't that be fun?
In the NFC Championship game, I've got Philly over Seattle.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I don't hate
you
that
got
at
Buffalo
all.
winning it all, or do you got Philly winning? I don't know.
I've got the Bills winning the whole thing.
Bills win it all, and finally.
It's about time. It's about time.
Without Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, without Joe Burrow in the playoffs, and without Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs,
that's been their
year. Yeah, I agree, Marcus. This would be the year to do it.
I mean, you would think that this would be the year for Buffalo, wouldn't it? But
before we get to Wes's final thoughts, real quick, Jason Alfonso posted this in the comments. May River won the Bluffton duels in wrestling. One not official score, but it looks like 39-15 in the finals against Lucy Beckham. Nice. So this May River team continues to be a force in the state of wrestling right now. So good win for May River and the Bluffton duels. But Wes, pardon thoughts.
We kind of hit on most of them in terms of the football going on. So I will go. Sad news that just came across in the music news. The founder of the Grateful Dead, the great rock band Bob Weir, just passed away. At the age of 78. I've never been one of those deadheads, but he was a guy that certainly was well appreciated and well known by many in the industry. So certainly someone who it's someone who will be mourned and certainly well respected. So. And then just great to be on the call for it was my first time ever on the call for besides the game I did with you, Max, at the DP2 Hilton Michigan. That was the only other basketball game I've done so far. Had a blast. Thanks to Jeremy Orr for letting me get on the call, and Jeremy does a tremendous job, by the way. He's just getting into it, and really impressed with his knowledge of the game and just the poise that he has on the mic. So shout out to Jeremy Orr as well for
and his knowledge of these two USCB programs is fantastic to have at USCB, not only on the air but also, of course, at the PA announcer's desk.
Yeah, he does it all. He'll do PA, he'll do play-by-play, he'll do color. He does it all.
Yeah, I would kill to do a broadcast alongside Jeremy. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, there you go. A lot more basketball to look forward to, including the WHHI game of the week on Monday. Bluffton
games of the week. We're doing
games
both.
of the week. Yes, the girls and the guys. Bluffton at Hilton Prep. 6:15, 6 o'clock, somewhere around then. The girls game will start, and then the boys afterwards.
Boys follow.
Yep, and then a good slate on Tuesday as well. You got Bluffton, Colleton, Bishop England hosting Beaufort. That girls game is going to be a good one, especially. Those two teams look like will be competing for the region title on the girls' side, so that one should be fun. Hilton May River, I'm excited for as well. I think that girls' game should be exciting. The boys' game will be as well. Seahawks have a tough stretch and had to play a couple of solid teams in that region. They are trying to avoid an 0-3 start, which, by the way they've looked, that would be hard to believe, but they have to. Can they be the team to knock off the Sharks for the first time this year? It's certainly possible. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one, Seahawks and the Sharks. So a lot more hoops coming up. Starting, you're continuing to get going this week in the Sand Sharks at Georgia Southwestern on Wednesday. So that will be tonight's show. On this Saturday night, lots of stuff going on. We'll probably be back on Monday to recap the Bluffton Hilton Prep games and set the stage for the rest of matchups going on this coming week.
We do have 3 shows tomorrow afternoon.
We do indeed. We got the Mad Max report, correct?
Yeah, Mad Max Loco recap early afternoon, and then followed by potentially a One Loco Hoops report with, of course, Matthew Fisher Davis, Robbie Benson, alongside with Justin Jarrett, and then, of course, finish off hopefully tomorrow night the Loco Grind.
Yes, covering all things wrestling. So if you're a wrestling fan, certainly,
and, Alex Hagan as well
for tomorrow night. A lot of wrestling going on in this time of the year, and looking forward to hearing more of that tomorrow on the Loco Grind. That will do it for us tonight. We thank CJ Brown, the coach of the Battery Creek Dolphins, just picking up a huge win over Oceanside, knocked off Prep earlier today. They are looking really good heading into the meat of region play this year. Nice win, and a great guy. Really proud and happy for him and what he's been doing at Battery Creek. So I thank CJ Brown, head coach of the Dolphins, and we thank you all for joining, listening, watching, whatever. We enjoy it. We appreciate it. And we thank all of our sponsors for their support and supporting our grassroots athletic coverage and allowing us to continue doing this awesome show and doing what we enjoy doing. So we thank you to our sponsors. We thank everyone for listening or watching. For Marcus Walsh and Max Araj, Wes Kerr saying until next time, whether it be Sunday or Monday, we thank you for watching. Go Loco.